What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Piscean Printer. I'm back with that TPP True Crime Talk. And before we get started on today's update on that Murdaugh Trial Day 24, yeah, Day 24. If you could, can you hit that like and a subscribe? Help your boy out, get me in the algorithms, get a little bit of growth happening. I'd appreciate it greatly. That being said, guys, let's jump in this Day 24. And I apologize yesterday. I put out a video yesterday. I was super tired on this update yesterday, and I said the wrong day. That video was trash. I apologize. Better energy today. I'm not exhausted. So anyways, Day 24, Murdaugh trial, and man, this is what I was hoping for. I was hoping for the prosecution on the rebuttal to bring up their witnesses, to go back over all the points that the defense tried to minimize and try to debunk. And in my opinion, between the witnesses and then the as far as like, I don't know if you would say character witnesses, but witnesses that knew Alex, and then the specialist witnesses that came up for the prosecution, they went back through all these little things where the defense tried to like create uncertainty and doubt, right? And I feel like the prosecution, and me personally, listening to this stuff from day one all the way through, watching the ebbs and flows and the back and forth and everything, I felt like the prosecution did a great job on this rebuttal on hitting a lot of different points. Now, there's people talking about like they shouldn't have talked about this or they shouldn't have talked about that as much, but it's like there were certain things they had to drive home for that jury to understand the points, the important points, right? The important points that the defense was trying to debunk, to create doubt in. The fact that Paul was on that property during that day with his dad, rode that property with his dad all day, and then was on the property with his mom at the kennels, per se, and he never had a gun on him that whole time, literally does not match the character. Does not match the description of this gentleman at all. Like, why he did not have his guns makes zero sense. Zero sense. He didn't have any of his guns, especially that blackout, which is his go-to, right? He didn't have any of that, and it does not make sense. Especially, everybody's talked about it, right? Even Alec has talked about how on point and how dedicated Paul was to that property and how much he loved to farm it, and the property management, the game management, all the aspects. That was like what he did. That was his baby, right? And that's been completely clear from everybody that's known Paul, that he's an outdoorsman and that he's a hard worker when it comes to things that he's about, and he gets things done. So me thinking this gentleman, this young man, was on that property all day long, looking at feeders, going and looking at things, and he didn't have a gun on him that whole time, that is out of character. That makes zero sense. Zero sense. So all this talk about hog hunting and everything, there's a reason why the defense is trying to debunk it and trying to like make it seem like it's not a big deal. It's because, dude, like straight up, it's making it seem like it basically, it breaks it down that is an out of character thing. For him not to have guns in his truck, on a golf cart, whatever they're driving, for him not to have a firearm is completely out of character for Paul. So that is an important fact. It's an important fact, and I hope that's sticking to the jury. Like, the fact that all went down and Paul did not have a firearm to even defend himself is insane, right? And then the time frame and the window that it happened and Alex not to be there or to hear it is insane. Like, there's these little details and little points that have to be fucking driven in, so that no matter how much the defense tries to debunk it, that it's cemented in the juror's brain that these are facts that you have to understand that are there. You have to have that in your brain. You have to be working on it. You have to comprehend that is out of character. That's got to be a factor in your decision making. That not only is this gentleman, Alex Murdaugh, capable of all these insane, heinous financial crimes, also is willing to interject himself into different crime scenes and ongoings, like the boat case, and then a case they haven't even talked about in this, with the Stephen Smith case. Like, the fact that he put blue lights on his car, which isn't even legal to do and wasn't okayed by the sheriff. Like, there's so many things so many things, right? That would actually, if you know anything about crime and murders and all this different stuff, heinous stuff that's happened, it's happened for way less than what this man was going through. So this man was on drugs, literally had everything to lose, massive empire, legacy, money, just this whole thing. And the two people that could have ruined one was ruining his life and the other that had the potential to ruin his whole thing, those two people end up dead on his property where he had asked them both to come. They're both killed with calibers of guns owned by the family. He lies about even being at the kennels during the time of the murders or around the time of the murders. Like, for real, man. I don't know how anybody that's watching this case can't put what the prosecution's laying down together. It makes no sense to me. It just doesn't. And maybe all these lawyers on the talking heads that go on the shows and the things that they're saying is based on the average person's thought process, maybe, I guess. But it's like, it is so clear as day to me what the prosecution has laid out. It's clear to me every situation where the defense has tried to create doubt, it hasn't worked for me because the logic in the situation, it won't allow me to buy into these other theories that are so far out there that it just does not make sense, guys. There's what's possible and what's probable, and yeah, in this case, like, possibility of somebody else doing it, like, there's always a slight chance, but the probability of somebody else doing that with family guns in that small amount of time out on the property where the wife is barely ever at, where nobody should really even know that they're at besides Alex and a couple family members. So it's either Alex or those couple family members, and we definitely know the couple family members already been cleared. So Alex is the only one that hasn't been cleared, obviously, or else we wouldn't be having this trial. And nothing the defense has said has debunked the prosecution's theory and outline of evidence. It just hasn't. They've brought in high dollar specialists to try to go against what SLED's investigation says, but they've done it in a way and argued small points that really don't fucking matter at all. It just doesn't. So all in all, man, the way that I'm looking at this case, and especially after today, man, I'm myself 100% guilty. 100. I'm not even in doubt anymore. I don't even have a little small, my opinion, that he's guilty. And then right now, I'm not going off of the polls that I'm seeing on, like, YouTube, Facebook, any of those sites. Like, there's polls, and it's shifted from high amounts of people thinking he's guilty to high amounts of people thinking it's going to be a hung jury, and this very, very small fraction that thinks that he's innocent, which I don't even know if those people are smoking at all. That just doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. The innocent thing, anybody that believes is innocent is probably easily emotionally manipulated. So they had this idea of what this family was and how they all felt about each other, right? But that ideal is based off of lies and manipulation, right? So it's like this family wasn't truly what they were because the head of the family literally wasn't what anybody thought he was, and that's facts. So yeah, guys, it definitely, I feel like today was a big day in the trial. I feel like that was it was do or die. I feel like decisions were made today by the jury. I know the the defense is gonna have some stuff to say, and I know the jury's got to go out and they're actually gonna go to Moselle and see the crime scene, even though it's 2 years later or a year later, or however long later. So things are different, but I don't know of anything that could pop up that would sway me. Yeah, that would sway me. We have the closing arguments and everything. So the closing arguments, for me, aren't important for me as a spectator watching this. And honestly, at the end of the day, the closing argument shouldn't even be what sways the jury. Like, honestly should just be the absolute facts of the case. All the closing is for an emotional like response, right? Or emotional like, you know, breakdown of what happened, whether it's the defense or the prosecution. So, but I feel like the facts have all been given up to that point, so you should already be chewing on that in your head and making decisions in your head. You got to go back and deliberate with your whole crew, but for me, I feel like everybody on that jury, with what they've been laid out and how much time that it's been laid out, that they should probably have a pretty good idea of which way they're leaning. Yeah, it seems like all the big time lawyers, talking heads on the TV shows think it's going to be a hung jury. They're all leaning for hung jury, even though a lot of them feel like he's guilty. You can tell, or some of them will just straight out come out and say it. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think maybe we might see something crazy. Maybe we might see a jury that's full of people that are very rational, have looked at everything, and maybe even in the fact that they're from that area don't like the fact that this has brought so much bad look on their area. I mean, it's brought a bad look to the lawyers there. It's brought a bad look to the law enforcement there. It's actually opened up some like issues with corruption. Like there's a lot that this has affected this area with. So maybe those jurors are up there, and if they're rational and they're not emotionally manipulated because they understand the type of person that they're dealing with and the family that they're dealing with, maybe they might go guilty. But as of right now, I'm leaning, for me, 100% guilty. For the jury, I'm 50-50. I'll be honest with you. I really don't know which way they're going to go. I don't get to see them enough. I don't get to see the facial expressions. Yeah. So I'm 50-50, man. That's where I'm at. But anyways, guys, this is the update. Day 24. Pretty crazy as far as a lot of tension, man. It was great. It was really good. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's my update. Let me know how you guys feel down in the comment. You following this? Is he guilty? Is he innocent? Hung jury? What's your thoughts? I'd like to know. But yeah, it's your boy, the Piscine Predator. Until tomorrow with the next update. Hope you'll have a beautiful night. Much love. Peace.